There is one word you have been repeating that guarantees you never get the thing you are asking for. You say it with sincerity. You say it in your prayers, in your affirmations, in the quiet of your own mind 100 times a day. And every time you say it, you push the very thing you long for further away. The word is want. I am going to show you, in the next few minutes, why wanting is the one posture that keeps the door shut, and how the instant you stop, everything you were reaching for becomes reachable. Not in a month, not when you have earned it, immediately. Because the change I am describing is not a change in your circumstances. It is a change in what you are assuming right now, and that can turn in a single moment. Let me tell you what the word want actually says. To want a thing is to declare plainly that you do not have it. Every time you affirm your wanting, you affirm your lack. You say, I want love, and the deeper mind hears the truth underneath it. I do not have love. You say, I want money, and underneath it, I am without. You believe you are reaching toward the thing. You are, in fact, announcing its absence, over and over, and your world faithfully reflects the announcement. The deeper mind does not grant wishes, it reflects states, and wanting is a state of not having, held constantly, defended sincerely, repeated with all the feeling you can muster. You have been watering the very lack you are trying to end. This is not a punishment, it is a mirror, and it means the correction is entirely in your hands. Here is the whole of it, and I want you to feel how simple it is. You do not move from wanting to having by trying harder to want. You move by assuming you already have, not hoping, not wishing harder, assuming, now, the feeling of the thing already yours, and speaking from that instead of toward it. I know the objection, because it rises in everyone the first time. You are thinking, but I would be lying. I do not have it. How can I assume I have what I plainly do not? Stay with that question, because the answer is the door. You think the having is far away, waiting at the end of some road you have not walked yet. It is not far away. It is not at the end of anything. Let me show you exactly where it is. Right now, for 1 second, stop wanting the thing. Just stop. Do not reach for it. Do not picture getting it. Do not long. Simply set the wanting down for a single breath, the way you would set down a heavy bag. Notice what is there in the quiet when the wanting stops. That quiet, that settledness, that absence of reaching, that is the feeling of having. It was never at the end of a road. It was underneath the wanting the whole time, the way the sky is always right there above you, only hidden behind clouds. You never had to travel to the sky. You only had to wait for the clouds to pass. The having is the same. You do not journey to it. You stop generating the wanting that was hiding it. The reason it felt far away is that you kept recovering it every time you wanted again. You would touch the quiet for a moment and then pick the wanting back up, because wanting felt like doing something, and stillness felt like giving up. It is the opposite. The wanting is the giving up. The stillness is the arrival. Let me make this concrete, because I can feel it is still an idea to you, and it must become a thing you can do. A woman came to me once who wanted a letter. She was waiting on word that would change her circumstances, and it had not come. For weeks she had checked the post every day with the same feeling. Not yet, still not here. When will it come? She thought she was hoping. She was rehearsing its absence. Every trip to the empty mailbox was a small ceremony confirming that the letter was not hers. I told her to stop wanting the letter and to live from having received it, not to imagine the mailman, not to picture the envelope, simply to assume the feeling of a woman for whom the good news had already come, the relief of it, the way she would hold her shoulders, the things she would no longer be bracing against. To be, for a few minutes, the woman who has it. She said, but nothing will have changed in the morning. I said, "You are right. Nothing outside will have changed in the morning, but you will no longer be the woman waiting for the letter. You will be the woman who has it. And a woman who has it does not go to the mailbox to find out if she is worthy. She simply, one ordinary day, collects what was always coming to her." The letter came. It came the way these things come, through an ordinary chain of events that looked like nothing at all. But it came after she stopped standing at the mailbox of her own mind, asking whether it would. That is the whole of the switch, in one small move. She did not get the letter by wanting it harder. She got it by becoming, first, the one who had it. But notice what she had to survive to get there. She had to spend a night and a morning, and maybe several, being the woman who had the letter while the mailbox still said she did not. That is the hard part. That is the part almost no one makes it through. Now this is where nearly everyone gets lost, so listen closely. The moment you touch the having, the moment you assume the state of already possessing it, the old mind panics. It says, "This is pretend, nothing has changed, look around, the thing is still not here," and you believe that voice because it is pointing at facts, and you drop the state and go back to wanting, which at least feels honest. But that evidence belongs to the state you just left. The thing is not here yet, because wanting was here. Wanting is a state of lack, and the world reflected it. What you are looking at is the last report of the wanting you set down a second ago. The having you just assumed has not shown up yet. It cannot. It is 1 second old, and the world always runs a step behind. You are being shown the old absence and told it is the verdict. It is not the verdict. It is an echo. So do not drop the new state just because the old one is still fading. Give the having its moment to build a world the way the wanting built this one. Do not answer that panic. Do not argue with the evidence. Return to the quiet of having, the way you would return to a room you had only stepped out of. Again and again, without drama. Each return is not starting over. Each return is the state deepening. And here is why I can promise you immediately and mean it. You have been told that these things take time, that you must wait, earn, build, deserve. That is true of the outer reflection, the way a photograph takes a moment to develop. But the thing that actually changes your life is not the reflection, it is the state you occupy. And a state is not built over time, it is entered in an instant, by a single decision, the way you step from one room into another. The man who has wanted wealth for 30 years does not need 30 more years to have it. He needs to stop wanting it for one honest moment and assume he has it. That switch is immediate. It is available to you in the time it takes to read this sentence. Everything downstream, the circumstances, the meetings, the opportunities, forms afterward in its own time. But the change that decides all of that, the only change that was ever yours to make, happens the instant you stop reaching and start having. So here is what I'm asking you to do, and it costs you nothing but a habit. Catch yourself wanting. You will not have to look far. It runs almost constantly, that low reaching, that leaning toward a life that is always just ahead of you. Catch it, and in the moment you catch it, set it down, and quietly assume you already have the thing you were reaching for. Feel the reaching stop. Feel the settledness underneath. Speak, for the rest of that moment, as one who has, not as one who wants. You will forget, and pick the wanting back up. Everyone does. When you notice, set it down again. This is not a practice you do once at night. It is a turning you make 100 times a day, in the cracks, every time you catch the old reaching. Wanting affirms the absence. Having assumes the presence. You have spent your life doing the first. Do the second, starting now, and you will have moved, in a single moment, from the one state that keeps everything away to the one state that lets it come. You were never far from the thing you longed for. You were only busy longing for it, and the longing was the distance. Set it down, have it now, and let the world do what it has always done, which is to catch up to the one who has already quietly arrived.